Hello and welcome to Howzzat. With me is Vijay Lokapally, my friend and colleague. As always, an honor to have you, Vijay, and to be able to discuss a Sunrisers victory over Delhi Capitals today.
Yes, I'm very happy. Sunrisers are back in the points table, and Chennai Super Kings, for a change, is at the bottom of the table. So, which is a very strange feeling in an IPL.
But last night it was all about Sunrisers Hyderabad. The way they bounced back after two defeats was admirable. David Warner and Trevor Bayliss combining to lift the morale of the side up. It would have been easy for a side to go down further after two defeats.
It was a wonderful night for youngsters in both the teams, and the captains have given credit to the youngsters. The coach Trevor Bayliss, I mean, he showed why you need a coach. Also, normally people say that if you have a good captain, you don't need a coach, but you do need a coach in these circumstances. And Bayliss, I think, is now beginning to. He has a good grip on the team, which we saw last night. So good. I mean, many good things to follow for Hyderabad.
Lots of positives, Vijay, for Sunrisers Hyderabad last night in that victory, particularly the manner in which the bowlers have come back. It did not seem like they were bringing enough to the table in the first two games, but last night the five of them bowled really well and got Sunrisers Hyderabad that 15-run victory.
Yes, beginning with Bhuvaneshwar Kumar, he enjoyed the pitch. The conditions suited him, so he showed the way. And wonderful athlete that Rashid Khan is. He is an inspiration to all young bowlers in this tournament because he's a wicket taker. He's not the one to contain. He is not going to bowl to contain. And then look at Abhishek Sharma. You look at Natarajan. I mean, this is a fantastic story for bowlers. In this match, I think we can definitely say it was a bowler's game.
To be discussing the bowlers ahead of David Warner and Johnny Bairstow and Ken Williamson's batting effort tells us really how good the bowlers were last night. Bhuvaneshwar Kumar picking up that early wicket and setting Hyderabad on its way and pushing the Delhi Capitals team back. I thought though that really the match turned on its head and Sunrisers Hyderabad was able to pull its way when Rashid Khan and Abhishek Sharma were bowling in tandem.
And what a sight it was. I mean, how many times would you get to see spinners at both the ends? But I'm sure so many of past spinners who would be watching would be enjoying the scene where the slow bowlers are getting preference to the fast bowlers.
We spoke with Raja Venkat last night, and it is interesting to see how he responded when we asked him to point out two things that made a difference to Sunrisers Hyderabad's campaign. It was tottering after those two defeats, and Raja Venkat has this to say.
I think two things changed the complexion of the team. The first one was the team selection. Bringing in Kane Williamson in place of Nabi was the right decision. This should have happened right from the first game. Williamson is a classy player to be left out. He played a masterful innings of 41 of 26 balls to put Hyderabad at a pass score. Then it was the bowlers. All of them bowled well, except to some extent Khalid Ahmed. But the pick of the bowlers and the match winner to me was Rashid. Rashid bowled beautifully, not giving any rooms to any of the batsmen, and took 3 wickets. He was ultimately my man of the match.
Rashid Khan, I must say, he is an inspiration actually to Hyderabad. The bubbly character. He's always smiling. I mean, you will never see he's under pressure. If he is, he doesn't let it show. And same for Abhishek Rajaraman. I mean, he has been talked of very highly by the selectors also. There could be a role for him in the coming season. And these two showed the way. These two showed the way for Hyderabad, and also spinners in the other team also. Like we saw yesterday, Amit Mishra doing well.
Rashid Khan last night, when he got the Man of the Match award, Vijay, was quite emotional. He was remembering his parents, tells us how grounded he is. He lost them both in the last year and a half. And he says that his mother would always speak to him through the night every time he won a Man of the Match award. And he was going to miss her last night a little bit more. But then, like you said, he's an inspiration. And the manner in which he lifted Abhishek Sharma by putting pressure on the batsman from his own end and allowing Abhishek Sharma to blossom as that left-arm spinner was terrific to watch. And let's hear what David Warner has to say about this partnership.
He's rash. He knows what he has to do, and the way he came out and delivered tonight was exceptionally great. He knows exactly what he has to do. He bowled stump to stump, and built up a lot of pressure. He knew he had a big role tonight with young Abhishek at the other end, and we had Samad as well, who would have bowled some overs, but Abhishek bowled 4 overs with only getting hit, I think, towards the back end. So it had an extra bit of pressure for Rash, and he held his nerve and was outstanding. In the half-time break, we said to the bowlers that we had to hit the right lengths. They bowled exceptionally well in the power play, so it was going to be one where you had to try and take wickets early, because if you had wickets at the end with the dew factor that was there, it could have been a different story, but we held our nerve and we bowled very well.
It was wonderful to watch Bhuvaneshwar Kumar regain his craft and show his mastery. And then there was Natarajan bowling brilliantly in the death overs for Sunrisers Hyderabad.
I think all this is the work of Bayliss. He must have in the background. He talked of plans. He did make a mention of these bowlers, but his brain was working all the time in the background. And Warner, I must say, Rajaraman is one of the few captains who loves to share the responsibility with his younger colleagues. He's willing to allow them to play to their strength, play and feel free to express themselves, as they say.
The great thing I think about the youth that we have in our team is the enthusiasm, the passion. They're funny, they want to learn, and they're really picking us senior players' brains and trying to get the upper edge, trying to work out how we go about our business, what we do extra work, how do we stay at the level that we have for a long time. They really want to learn, and it's exciting, and that's why these guys are getting a go, because that's how we want them to play with freedom. Allow our senior guys to go out there and do the hard part about thinking about the game. They play the game. Let them play it, calm, clear. That's all they have to do.
So I think I was not surprised when Warner was speaking in glowing terms of his young colleagues.
There were 2 other cricketers for Sunrisers Hyderabad who made a difference last night. There was young Abdul Samad. He did not get to bat too long, but in that short spell that he was at the crease, he made an impression. A teenager from Jammu and Kashmir, I'm sure his little cameo will come as a fillip to cricket in the Union Territory.
Yes, Samad is known to hit the ball long, and he gave a glimpse of it. We're going to see a lot of him in the forthcoming games. But Natarajan, I must say, is a fantastic story. Given his background, given his desire to do well in life so that he can look after his family. So this is one inspiring story. And Natarajan's, Rajaraman, should I say, the most striking feature was his ability to bowl Yorkers. I don't think we have many bowlers on domestic cricket who do this, and he is known to have done this regularly in Ranji Trophy. But here, he was outstanding, bowling Yorker after Yorker, and it was a wonderful sight to see these 2 young people do well.
I think sometimes Vijay fans and critics look at the wickets tally, go for someone like a Rashid Khan. Obviously, he was a standout bowler, no doubt about that, both in terms of containing runs and in terms of picking wickets. But we usually gloss over someone like Natarajan. A terrific effort from him last night.
Yes, and I was reading a lovely story by Venkat, who works with the New Indian Express. He pointed out how Natarajan he doesn't believe in the luxuries of life. He wants to serve his family, give education to his sister. What an inspiring and what a motivating man this youngster is.
Let's focus a little bit on the Sunrisers Hyderabad batting, Vijay. Was good to see David Warner and Johnny Bairstow. They did have a bit of a struggle against the new ball, coming to terms with the slowness of the pitch, and then breaking free to score a few runs. But the highlight of that partnership was really the running between the wickets, wasn't it, Vijay?
You have said it so well. Running between the wickets is they have to. I mean, normally people believe that you can score only through boundaries and sixes. But if you take, say, run a ball, you have 6 runs in an over. If you take 2 runs a ball, you have 10, 12 runs in the over. So it is an important aspect of T20 cricket, and picking runs and placing the ball well short of the fielder to take a single or a brace or maybe even 3 runs. So this was, you have pointed out very rightly, this was a very, very important segment of the partnership.
We didn't get to see much of this when Delhi Capitals was batting. I think Ricky Ponting was naturally disappointed that his own batsman, the Delhi Capitals batsman, did not learn lessons from watching the David Warner, Johnny Bairstow partnership. Let's watch what Ricky Ponting has to say about this.
Well, at the end of the day, I think today we were just outplayed. You know, we were a little bit off our absolute best. I thought the Sunrisers did what they needed to do, especially with the bat. You know, they had top order partnerships. They rotated the strike well. And they had a few of their top order going to make big scores. So at the end of the day, that was probably the difference in the game. And I thought Warner and Bairstow just played the conditions really well early on. You know, they got the boundaries when they needed to. They ran the twos exceptionally well to our guys in the outfield, which is something that we need to talk about. Having won the toss and deciding to bowl first, you know, we wanted to chase. We felt there might have been a bit of dew on the ground, and having just walked off the outfield now, there was a bit of dew there. So, look, no excuses from us. At the end of the day, we think we're just outplayed. Look, I think it was pretty obvious who we needed to target tonight. That was Abhishek Sharma, and he just snuck away from us a little bit. You know, we lost a wicket in the 8th over. Rashid Khan came in and got Shreyas Iyer out, which meant that Abhishek was able to get away with bowling to a new batsman. So we really targeted his 3rd over and his 4th over. We didn't get as many off his 3rd over as we needed to, and the game from that moment on sort of started to slip away from us. So all in all, I thought they did a good job. You know, they got an early wicket. Bhuvaneshwar got a wicket early on, Prithvi Shaw. Khalil and Natarajan, I think they executed their Yorkers better than we did. So that's what I'll talk to our team about. You know, we were outplayed. You look back at the skills that they showed tonight compared to us, then, you know, it's pretty evident that we've got a little bit of work to do.
What do you think went wrong with the two left-handers, Vijay? I thought they would have liked to go after Abhishek Sharma. Last night when the match was on, you and I were discussing the possibility of David Warner removing Abhishek Sharma from the line of attack when the two left-handers were at the crease. But you got to see him bowl his 4 overs in a row and bowl them predictably. What do you think went wrong with the two left-handers? Could they not have put pressure on Abhishek Sharma a little bit more?
To tell you honestly, it has to be the surface, because both Pant and Shikhar, they love the ball to come onto the bat. And even though Shikhar is able to adapt and adjust, but last night I could see that he was not able to get his singles. He's also good at running between the wickets, placing the ball for 1s and 2s, but he just was not able to get going because of the slowness of the pitch. And Pant definitely was struggling. I mean, if you see, he could not come to terms with the line of the bowlers and definitely the pace of the pitch. He was not able to adjust. And Abhishek Sharma had his day. I mean, to bowl 4 overs in a row with against such a batting lineup will do a world of good for him in the coming matches.
Delhi Capitals will have a lot of lessons, particularly from the manner in which Rishabh Pant and Shikhar Dhawan were unable to rotate the strike enough or force the pace against the two spinners in the middle overs. And then they would have expected their top order batsmen to come good against the new ball. But then we got to see that the new ball was not coming off the pitch really well, and stroke play was not easy. We got to see it in both power plays. Someone like a Prithvi Shaw tried to get aggressive in that first over and gifted his wicket to Bhuvaneshwar Kumar.
Yeah, that's why I think for me, if you sit and analyze the whole game, Williamson's knock stands out. He was able to place his shots. He was able to get to the pitch of the ball, and he never looked really uncomfortable. I mean, his was a very critical knock coming at the stage which he came. and out of match practice, but he didn't look rusty. And knowing Williamson, I mean, he batted very intelligently. So I would give a lot of credit to his knock, and it was just a perfect example of how to bat in those conditions.
Williamson, of course, bringing his experience and his expertise to the fore, was very, very good to watch Williamson play the way he did, paced his innings to a nicety. Would have been lovely to see him get that half century, but then he made his, but then he contributed his might to Sunrisers Hyderabad and took them to a par score and put it just beyond the reach of Delhi Capitals.
Definitely, and this is going to be the turning point for Hyderabad. I mean, if they have to go the distance, this one innings, the spell by Rashid Khan is going to help them overcome many hurdles in the forthcoming matches, I'm sure.
You spoke of the forthcoming matches, Vijay. There is Rajasthan Royals and Kolkata Knight Riders waiting for all of us tonight. This is going to be in Dubai, where possibly another high-scoring game with the kind of stroke players that Kolkata Knight Riders has got and the kind of stroke players that Rajasthan Royals has got. I think we're in for a high-scoring game tonight.
Yeah, entertaining game it should be. Kolkata has done well. I mean, they're looking to do well, and Rajasthan Royals has shown that it is the team to watch. I mean, it has a fabulous batting lineup. So I'm sure the Kolkata bowlers are going to be under pressure. So that it should be a very good battle to watch.
Will be a good game as always, Vijay. I think we shall leave viewers with that point to ponder. Cricket does some wonderful stuff for people, especially make humans out of some individuals. And Natarajan is a glowing example of someone who wants to stay with his feet grounded and his head on his shoulders. Really remarkable thing to leave the viewers with, Vijay.
Yes, I will be watching every ball that Natarajan bowls in this IPL. Thank you very much, Rajaraman.
Thank you, Vijay. As always, has been illuminating, and I'm sure the viewers will enjoy this conversation as well.